Hello, Dr. Tawarat.
สวัสดีครับ
Thanks for joining ON A BIZ today. Today, the Department of Alternative Energy Development and Efficiency celebrate its 68th anniversary. Congratulations. That means your department has gone through a long time of development.
ครับครับขอบคุณครับ and welcome to DEDE. You came on the very auspicious day. Today is our birthday actually.
Thank
ครับ
you.
ครับ
The Ministry of Energy has enforced what it call Alternative Energy Development Plan for the 10 year of 2012 to 2021. The plan aims to develop source of alternative energy to account for 25% of energy need in the country. Could you tell us what are the key sources of alternative energy in Thailand under the plan?
Well, the key sources of the renewable energy or alternative energy for Thailand is clearly it's the bio-based energy. Bio-based energy would include biomasses, biogases, municipal waste, and biofuels. Biofuels, well, in conventional term, would mean bioethanol and biodiesel. Well, this came with a reason because Thailand is agriculture-based economy, so we have plenty of agriculture waste. And we have a lot of surplus in terms of agriculture commodities such as palm oil, sugarcane, and cassava. So we could recycle those surplus or agriculture waste that come from those products into energy. So the form that we could we can turn them into three types of energy that includes electricity, heat, and transportation liquid fuel. For example, the ethanol and biodiesel could be directly substitute the import oil from the Middle East. So the bio-based energy for Thailand is clearly a clear winner for development in this region.
You have mentioned diesel to produce electricity.
Well, occasionally, but our primary objective of development of biodiesel would focus on replace them with the conventional diesel. There's a talk, not only in Thailand, but many countries that has surplus of biodiesel or surplus of palm oil. That include Indonesia and maybe Malaysia, that from time to time on occasional basis that we could use the excess capacity of our biodiesel to generate electricity. But that's very rare occasion. But our primary objective of those fuels is to use them in the transportation sector.
Would it need a huge investment to use the excessive biodiesel to produce electricity?
Well, it's not a huge investment, but the value of burning those fuels comparing to use them in the transportation sector, it's a totally different value.
Oh, okay.
Because in terms of generating electricity, there are some loss due to transformation of the fuels into electricity, but the substitution of biodiesel in the transportation sector is a direct one-to-one replacement. So 1 unit of biodiesel produced in Thailand has more value if we use those to substitute in the transportation fuel.
In terms of if we use the fuel to produce electricity, would that mean that we burn all those residues from the agriculture to generate heat and the heat to generate electricity? Would that?
Well, theoretically, yes, but mainly the biomass or biogas or bioproducts that we use to generate electricity are in the form of solid, not a liquid form. So we could turn a solid agriculture waste such as bagasse, palm oil, fresh fruit, empty fruit bunch, and some of the wood chips or rice husks, and burn them and make a steam, and steam could turn the turbine to produce electricity. That is the common objective that we are promoting right now. But there are some crops that could yield a good bio oil. For example, palm oil is a good example that this type of vegetable or this type of plant could produce a natural oil which has a chemical in a molecule basis very similar to a diesel product. So we need just only a small reaction to get some unwanted substance out of the bio oil that produced from palm oil, and it becomes a normal diesel.
Dr. Tawarat, I wonder whether it was not popular to burn those plants to generate heat and then to generate electricity, because it won't be very good for climate change, because burning those plants will generate a lot of CO2 in the atmosphere. Is this
well,
true?
I would argue that statement, because actually the biomass based energy or biomass, biogas and biofuel could classify as a carbon neutral, because we do this analysis on a life cycle analysis basis, and in the beginning of that life cycle it becomes a sink to absorb the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. But once it grown up and it become a fuel and we burn it efficiently in the combustion chamber, then it emit the carbon dioxide that produce along with the energy that they produce. But with the balance, you could see that on the number that the biomass based energy would become a carbon neutral. There are even some crops such as sugarcane and palm oil that actually is a carbon surplus. The carbon sink as well, because the energy that they could produce in a variety of form, and energy that they produce even more than what they have been consumed. For example, sugarcane, not only they become a sugar industry, but the bagasse or a solid waste that we have to burn it anyway, or it has to be decomposed anyway, and emit some kind of carbon to the atmosphere. But we could turn that bagasse into electricity by burning that solid bagasse. And then sugarcane also produce a liquid fuel such as ethanol, and their processed water in producing ethanol can be recycled back in terms of biogas, because the processed water has some it is a wastewater, I would say. So if you kill it good enough, you can recycle the biogas and use it in terms of energy. So I would say that biomass, biogas and biofuels in Thailand, we have performed it effectively, at least in the level that we are comfortable to declare that it is a carbon neutral form of energy.
Then apart from this bio-based energy, does the ministry plan to develop any other alternative source of energy under the 10-year plan? Yeah.
Yes,
could you tell us a little bit more?
Well, our 10 years plan, or the nickname AEDP, that stands for Alternative Energy Development Plan, we plan to also promote the solar energy, wind energy, hydropower, as well as the bio-based energy. So the solar, wind and hydro would become another package that we would like to incentivize and seeking the investment, not only domestically but internationally, to put up the facility and produce electricity in Thailand. In terms of the potential, I would say that solar energy have the most potential among the three among the solar, wind and hydro, because it is very obvious Thailand is very sunny, and our daylight is very long. At least in the summertime, in a good summertime, you can have a daylight for at least 9 to 10 hours. So the yield of turning those sunlight into electricity, we are much better than a country like Germany or Japan. If Germany and Japan could have 10 gigawatt of solar power, Thailand potentially, theoretically, we could produce in that level. But right now, the only limitation is the cost of delivering the solar energy into the grid is still very high. So as a middle income country, we cannot support, or we cannot spend the money to get high cost energy as much as Japan or Germany does. So, but I would foresee that in the future, if the cost of electricity that produced from solar panel would come down, then Thailand would have even greater potential to produce electricity from solar.
Would we be able to see the lower cost of such production?
We have already seen it. I remember quite clearly because we started the program on promoting the investment on solar PV farm back in 2008-2009, and at that time we calculate the incentive on the basis that the solar energy could cost about, I think, $8 per watt. But from then to now, the price has dropped something like quadruply. The cost of solar panel right now is even lower than $2 per watt. So you see that a steep cut in terms of cost. And I think in the future, if the cost still declining, it's good for a country that promoting renewable energies. That includes Thailand.